Dear viewers, welcome back. You're watching Vision for Success. We are discussing interfaith dialogue and Islamic perspective. Here with us, Imam Shamsi Ali. Yes, brother. We are discussing that.
So there are some people who are to the left who say that all religions are same. Of course, that is wrong because we Muslims must believe that. I believe in Islam because I do believe that Islam is truth, and nothing wrong with that position, because I know our Catholic friends also believe in the same thing. Some Christian friends also believe in the same thing. Jewish friends also believe in the same thing, that the religion is the only religion that can save them. And so the point is that you have to be strong in your faith while respecting others. That is the meaning of interfaith. But you cannot blend religion into one religion. And that's why diversity, the concept of diversity, means you have to acknowledge the differences that you have. Now, I think one of the most important ground why interfaith is so important in this modern time, because the many conflicts that we see drag the religion into that conflict. In Syria, for example, between Sunni and Shia, in Iraq, Sunni and Shia, that is internal Muslim affairs. But then you have, for example, Palestinian and Israeli issue, where Jews and Muslims, of course Christians are involved, it's a religious sentiment. And then in some other issue, Northern Ireland, for example, Catholic and Protestant have been involved. In Myanmar, Buddhists massacre Muslims there. In India and Muslims also, they have conflict. They have some tension and issues. So I think we Muslims must be in the front line to contribute into eliminating, if not it's at least minimizing this conflict, by using our goodwills as Muslims, by building interfaith dialogue. When there is a conflict in Myanmar, there is one friend here, he happened to be the president of Buddhist Council in New York. I invite him to come to a lunch, and I talk to him, say, look at, your religion is a religion of peace. It's a non-violent religion. But what happened in Myanmar? And they also say, this is not our religion. This is people who do that. But the problem is that when some Muslims are doing it, they say Islam, right?
Yes.
And that's what I told them. So I just wanted to tell him that, religion can be abused in any way, by anybody. And that's why Islam cannot be blamed alone. It can happen in all communities. So I work with these friends to connect with some Buddhist monk in Myanmar so that they can connect with some Muslim leaders in Myanmar. And it works. There are some Buddhist monk and Muslim leader in Myanmar. They're working together to minimize this tension. Because the Myanmarese people, the non-Muslim, they are so scared of Muslims are coming and they are making Myanmar to become a Muslim country like Indonesia used to be Hindu kingdom and then I become Muslim. They are so scared of kind of things. So interfaith is minimizing this kind of scare, minimizing this kind of fear. By building trust and confidence to one another.
So do you think the Muslims, particularly the mosque and other religious organizations, have taking enough initiative to explore, to build this interfaith dialogue?
I can say not yet, while it is very necessary. What happened after December 11, there were some mosques attacked. And some of those mosques who were attacked simply because they are not reaching out to their neighbors to build friendship and building trust with their neighbors. But my mosque here in Astoria, Jamaica, not Jamaica, at this time I'm not Jamaica Muslim Center, with Masjid Al-Hikmah, we built relation with churches around. They came to us and they offer help, whatever they can do for us. They brought flour after September 11. That's why I was invited to represent the Muslim at the Yankee Stadium event to meet with Bush, because I was building interfaith works with non-Muslims around. So my point is that I think we need to do this because it's very important, especially living in America in this kind of high level of Islamophobia. One of the best way to do this is building friendship with other people around us.
Like this is the time of we are doing fasting when we are breaking fast.
Yes.
With iftar and other thing, and we are confined within ourselves. We are not inviting a non-Muslim friends,
yes,
our neighbors. We are not actually exchanging for Eid and other things.
Exactly, and that's why it's very important to invite our neighbors to come and enjoy the end of the day with us, because one of the meaning of iftar is to enjoy finishing.
And this is
our
also
fasting.
an opportunity.
Yes, and my organization, Nusantara Foundation, for example, is organizing special iftar for interfaith leaders, so they can come and enjoy with us the evening. They can exchange views with us, and I will ask some of those to speak, and I will speak about Islam and the Muslim issues. And so this is the way we become closer. And believe me, many non-Muslim friends out there defend Islam. You know, in time that, for example, Donald Trump attacked Islam, there are many even Jewish rabbis stood up strongly to defend Islam. There are 10,000 people signed on internet against Donald Trump when he said that he's going to ban Muslim coming to the United States. Jewish, more than 10,000 people. There are many rabbis that I know spoke out very strongly against Donald Trump. Why they spoke out strongly against Donald Trump? Because we have built a relation with them. That's the result of interfaith dialogue. If I'm just sitting inside of the masjid, making zikr, making ibadah, praying, do you think they will change their minds about Islam? And I would like to end possibly with this story. My friend, one of the rabbi who used to hate Islam. So one day he invited me to meet because he had seen me on the TV a lot. And he said, no, I wanted to work with you. So I asked him why. He said, because I see Islam is growing no matter what. Try to be pressure, but it's still growing. So I wanted to work with him. You know, he was hating Islam. But you know what? After long time working, partnership, cooperation, not only that he is not hating Islam anymore, he defends Islam anyway. Even Sharia. Everywhere he's talking, you know, Sharia is just like Jewish law. The Jewish is circumcised. Okay, Muslims are circumcised. Sharia for them. The Jewish people eat kosher. Muslims eat halal. So if Sharia is a threat to America, why Jewish law is not a threat to America?
Yes.
Everywhere he spoke, he defended Islam. This is one of the rabbis. This is just one example. From being so suspicious, so scared, so Islamophobic, so fearful, hateful to Islam, to become friends and to become even defender of the religion.
So, what would be your advice for our viewers today?
I think number one, we have to continue open our minds. You know, sometimes the way we understand Islam is very close-minded. We open our minds, we have to see where we live, the time where we live in, so that we can change the way we understand the religion, the verses of the Holy Quran. But don't forget, no matter how people behave towards Islam, Islam doesn't want us to hate them back. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ worked together with everybody, worked with the Jewish, with Christians, with the pagans for common ground. And this is also one of the biggest sunnah that we need to follow, to work with everybody.
Thank you very much, Imam Shamsi Ali, to being with us.
Sure.
I believe the viewers will learn lesson from this discussion.
Amen.
Thank you once again.
Sure.
দর্শক, সফলতার কোনো শর্টকাট পথ নেই। সফলতার জন্য অপরিহার্য হচ্ছে অন্যকে জানা, অন্যের ধর্মকে জানা এবং অন্যের ধর্মের প্রতি শ্রদ্ধা রাখা এবং আমাদের বিভিন্ন সময়ে বিভিন্ন বিষয়ে অন্যকে ইনভলভ করা। অপরিহার্য হচ্ছে ভিশন। প্রতিটি সফলতার পেছনে রয়েছে একটি ভিশনারি উদ্যোগ। ভিশনারি উদ্যোক্তারা বদলে দিতে পারেন সমাজ, অর্থনীতি ও কর্মসংস্থানের চেহারা, হতে পারেন অন্যের জন্য প্রেরণার উৎস। ভিশন আত্মবিশ্বাস, পরিশ্রম এবং ধারাবাহিক চেষ্টা এনে দিতে পারে সাফল্য। আসুন সফলতার জন্য সেভাবেই চেষ্টা করি। হতাশার কথা নয়, নতুন প্রজন্মকে ভিশনারি উদ্যোক্তা ও পরিশ্রমী হতে এবং ইতিবাচক ভাবতে শেখাই। অনুষ্ঠান সম্পর্কে আপনার পরামর্শ ও মতামত লিখুন visionforsuccessusa@gmail.com। অনুষ্ঠানটি প্রচারিত হবে প্রতিদিন রাত 9টায়, পুনঃপ্রচার সকাল 11টায় এবং দুপুর 2:30। ইনশাআল্লাহ আবারও দেখা হবে আগামীকাল এই সময় এখানে টাইম টিভিতে। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।